Some days in history reveal our failures in the face of nature. Others expose our failures in dealing with each other. But on one particular October 17th, America experienced both. A day where a natural disaster became a man-made catastrophe, and a political protest spiraled into a national humiliation. Welcome back. Today is October 17th, a date that holds two starkly different yet equally profound American mistakes. This is about the warnings we ignored and the consequences we couldn't escape. Segment 1. The unheeded warning, the Loma Prieta Earthquake, 1989. It was supposed to be a celebration. October 17, 1989, 5:04 p.m. The San Francisco Bay Area was buzzing with the Battle of the Bay World Series. But in seconds, celebration turned to terror. The Loma Prieta earthquake struck, killing 63 people and causing billions in damage. But this segment isn't about the earthquake itself. That was an act of nature. The mistake was our failure to prepare, despite clear and repeated warnings. For decades, seismologists had warned that the Bay Area was a ticking time bomb. The specific structures that failed most catastrophically, the Cypress Street Viaduct in Oakland and the Bay Bridge, were known to be vulnerable. A 1972 report had specifically warned that the Cypress structure could collapse in a major quake. The mistake was one of cost, bureaucracy, and complacency. Retrofitting was expensive and disruptive. So we gambled, and on October 17th, the bill came due. The collapse of these structures represented a profound failure of public policy and a tragic mistake in prioritizing convenience over safety. A mistake of ignoring scientific warnings with a tragically clear, physical result. But our next October 17th mistake is one of ideology, power, and a failure to understand a changing world. Segment 2. The stage for humiliation. The Stop the Draft Week protest. 1967. Washington, D.C. 1967. The Vietnam War is escalating, and public opposition is reaching a fever pitch. A coalition of anti-war groups launches Stop the Draft Week, and its climax is a massive march on the Pentagon on October 21st. But our focus is on the critical mistake made 4 days earlier, on October 17th. Facing the upcoming protest, Lyndon B. Johnson's administration and the Pentagon made a fateful decision. They would allow the protesters to march right up to the Pentagon's doors. Their reasoning? To demonstrate the military's restraint and the protesters' impotence. This was a catastrophic miscalculation. The image of the U.S. military facing off against its own citizens, including the now iconic photo of flowers and gun barrels, was a public relations disaster. It didn't show restraint. It showed a nation at war with itself. The protest, which the government thought it could control, spiraled. Over 600 people were arrested, and hundreds were injured. The mistake of October 17th was an arrogance of power. The Johnson administration fundamentally misunderstood the symbolic power of the protest. They gave the anti-war movement its most potent stage and imagery, permanently cementing the narrative of a morally bankrupt government confronting a peaceful, flower-wielding youth. It was a strategic blunder that massively boosted the anti-war cause and deepened the country's divisions. Conclusion: the common thread of arrogance. So what connects a collapsed freeway and a protest at the Pentagon? The common thread is a fatal form of arrogance. In 1989, it was the arrogance of believing we could outlast nature, that the experts' warnings were too expensive or inconvenient to heed. In 1967, it was the arrogance of power, believing a massive public movement could be stage-managed and controlled without consequence. In both cases, the failure to listen, to adapt, and to respect the forces at play, whether tectonic or social, led to disaster. October 17th stands as a stark reminder that the greatest mistakes are often born from the belief that we are immune to the consequences of our inaction or our miscalculations. What other days do you think represent a critical failure to listen? Let me know in the comments. If you want to uncover more of history's pivotal missteps, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.